Tom Hanks goes from working at a store to community college in his new film, Larry Crowne. Tom Hanks is back in the directing chair in his new film Larry Crowne. I'm Rob, and you're watching RB&D Reviews. And Larry Crowne, the movie came out Independence Day weekend here in the U.S. It opened the same weekend as Transformers 3. And I thought Larry Crowne looked like a movie that would be a good alternative for people who didn't want to see another special effects blockbuster movie and something a little bit more story-oriented. I finally got around to seeing it at a theater that shows movies like a month or so after they came out, but I think I thought it would definitely be an interesting picture. And the movie is about a middle-aged man who is fired from his job at a retail store due to downsizing. He is chosen not because of his work ethic, but because he lacks a college degree. Of course, if that happened in real life, a lot of people at my job would be out of work. But Larry tries applying for similar positions at other places, but because the recession is going on, Larry decides to go back to school, and he heads to a local college. He makes friends rather fast with some of his classmates, and he also has to put up with his somewhat drunk and depressed speech professor played by Julia Roberts. Now, this movie I found to be relatable because after I got my degree in broadcasting, the recession hit, and a lot of TV stations either weren't hiring or they were laying people off. And I work at a retail store, as I meant myself, and there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where Hanks tells a customer that you have to listen to messages on the intercom twice because it can be hard to understand. I have that problem at work myself. But like I said, the reason for Larry getting fired, I kind of found a little bit unrealistic because, because well, a lot of people at my job don't have college degrees, and if they went around and did that, we wouldn't have a lot of people at my job, and we'd have a lot of problems. But I did like seeing Larry's determination to finding work, and him seeing firsthand how hard it has become because of the economy and businesses downsizing and gas prices going up so high. Tom Hanks directed That Thing You Do back in 1996, and after watching this film, I'm not really too sure that he can direct and play a lead at once, and I think the reason why That Thing You Do worked much better was because he played a supporting role and he was able to focus more on the film. Here, I just think that he just scratches the surface with what he's trying to say, and I think he could have done even more stuff visually. For example, there's a scene where Larry and his garage sale obsessed neighbor, played by Cedric the Entertainer, there's a scene where they keep bargaining a price over an object at the garage sale, and I think the dialogue there could have been funnier. And I think Hanks is trying to create a parallel between the character's speech class and his economics class. The speech class, I'm guessing, is supposed to be much more fun, and everybody gets to open up, and the economics class, which is taught by a character played by George Takei, is supposed to be a little bit more restricted and a little bit more boring and more fun. But I felt like he could have taken a much more of an advantage over that, and made it even better than that. Julia Roberts, who plays the professor, on the other hand, I thought was very fun in her part as the professor who's trapped in a loveless marriage and class that she doesn't really want to teach. And some of the funniest scenes in the movie, I think, are in the classroom. Like there's a scene where they're talking about the skills that they can do. They have to give a minute speech on what they can do and what makes them unique. And I felt like those scenes had a lot of relatable stuff in there too. Like there's students sleeping in the classroom, so there's some students that are kind of smart asses. And I think what would have made the movie even more interesting is, what if Hanks played a character that was good at doing his job, but he wasn't good at public speaking, and he decides to enlist in a public speaking class? Maybe that would have been much more interesting. I think it would have made the speech class scenes, especially the last one in the movie, much more rewarding. And I was kind of surprised that Larry was welcomed by a younger student named Talia into her life, as well as her biker friends. She starts to help him turn around and seem a little bit more hip by fixing what he wears, and she and her friends are redoing his messy house at one point with her biker friends, that I really didn't find that completely believable and felt like that could have happened. I felt like that just happened a little bit too fast. But despite the film's very good intentions, I felt like the movie's pace was a little too slow, and the biker subplot to me, I just felt like it seemed like it was happening just to move the plot along. But I found it weird that near the end of the movie, there was a scene where at a restaurant where a lot of the major characters just happened to be there at the same time. I kind of found it a little bit weird and odd. I think the film's heart is in the right place, and it's relatable, especially to what's been happening now, but I felt like it could have been even better organized, and it could have been, a better film. But I give Larry Crowne a rented on DVD verdict. I think it's, like I said, its heart's in the right place, and I thought it provided a nice alternative to some of the blockbuster superhero, science fiction, special effects, alien movies that we've been getting lately. So that's my review for Larry Crowne, and feel free to leave any comments about the movie or about this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch it.